are at McDonald's drive-thru because
10:20.
sometimes you just need a pumpkin latte. That'd be me. And he needs a
steak, egg, and cheese bagel is what I need. It's 10:20. Breakfast closes at 10:30, so we had to hurry.
We are on our way to do some errands today and thought we would take you with us. Do more of a vlog style video today. So we're going to a witching shed. I'm not sure exactly what the definition of that is. I just know that ET Sweets makes awesome pastries and we are going to get, hopefully there's some left. We are going to go check it out.
It's on the bagel.
Alrighty.
Oh, here comes the food. Oh, what are we waiting for?
Your pumpkin spice latte.
Of course. Gotta have the pumpkin spice latte.
Right.
There it is.
I need a large Coke. All right, and a straw?
Right here.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
You too.
All right, here we go. And first stop, post office, I guess, right?
Yeah, so yesterday I did a lot of shipping from Whatnot and from eBay, and I had a few left that I didn't quite get done in time to get to the post office, so I finished them up last night, and we're going to drop them at the post office now, and then we're going to the witching shed, and then we're going to go. I had a great idea to try to start moving some of the weird items in our storage unit, and we'll get into that in a little bit, but we're going to head to the storage unit and do some work there. We're taking you along with us. We talked about, we've been in kind of a funk because it's fun doing the storage unit videos and it's fun doing the clean out videos and it's fun doing this stuff, but there's a lot of time in between those things that we're just living our life and we're just selling, and we're selling listing and stuff, and that doesn't sometimes translate to us as like fun enough for filming and videos. So we're talking about, we're in this kind of rut where we want to just show you fun and exciting things, but that's not the reality of what we do and the reality of our life. So we just wanted to kind of talk about that. We'll probably talk about that more in the video. But so we thought, you know what, let's make a vlog video today. We're going to show what we do, just a normal life. It's a Saturday. It is a little later start. It's 10:30 in the morning. There is a Nebraska football game at 6:30 tonight, so that's kind of like my end time for the day because I'll be watching that. But we're going to do some different things, some different listings, but it starts off with breakfast, so I'm going to eat breakfast now.
So already in downtown Lincoln, it's really coming alive because today is game day. And we're coming in from the south side of downtown to go to the post office. Our post office is downtown. And there's just people everywhere. But this is nothing compared to what it's gonna be like later today.
First home game of the season.
First home game of the season, and the Huskers actually look better this year than we have in the past. But
We'll see.
We're hoping. And there's also, I believe there's also farmers market downtown. Ignore the dust on my dash. This is the old van. And we just thought we'd get it out and exercise it a little bit. You can kind of see the road's closed there. We've got farmers market going on. And it's just a hubbub of activity down here.
Yeah,
people walking everywhere.
8 hours till kickoff. Game is at 6:30 tonight, and so the town is just starting to come alive. But here this afternoon, this will just be absolutely packed full of people. We are only about 4 blocks away from the stadium.
Yeah, there's people in the restaurants already down here. I don't know, do they serve breakfast down here at these restaurants?
Probably on game day.
Yeah. And like I said, it's Harvest. Oh, there's a Papa Dog. Harvest. What is it called?
Farmers market.
Farmers market. It's farmers market down here. But look over here. We've got our Go Big Red store out, and we do a lot of sales on game days or days leading up to game days at the booth. We sell Husker items in the booth. There's our Pinnacle Bank Arena right next to our post office. I don't know if this is interesting to any of you, but this is our life.
And this is the post office we like to go to because this is where our P.O. box is, and this post office has the nicest employees.
Well, he does that. We'll talk a little bit about yesterday. I decided that I was going to get our garage cleaned out so that we could bring in new inventory. So not all the way cleaned out, but I've been putting off going through some of the boxes because they contained dish sets. So I listed $750 worth of dish sets yesterday on eBay. I have a few more to do, but Ruth and Larry had found a couple different sets of dishes. There was the Franciscan apple set, and it had dishes. It had 3 different types of glasses and goblets and stuff that went with it. So I got those listed, and smaller sets that were easier to ship. Also, they got a whole set of Fair Winds vintage, I can't remember, it's called Fair Winds. Anyway, a whole set for free. And so I got all of that gone through, wiped down, and started listing on that yesterday. Got some other glasses listed. So just trying to get the bulk of the not so fun stuff listed so that we can move on to the fun stuff, easy to list stuff, and get the garage emptied. Did you check the mailbox?
Nope, checked it yesterday.
Oh.
I didn't have the keys with me.
Oh.
I'll go
The
down
mail
by
in the box has slowed down a little bit, but that's okay. That means we haven't had any returns either, so that's a good thing. So there is this, is it a trolley? What is it called?
Group therapy, they call
Group
it.
therapy. Everybody has to pedal.
No, they don't have to pedal. They just have pedals. I don't know what for. But we already getting started at 10:30 in the morning.
Drinking and riding the trolley. But yeah, it's crazy down here. Again, it's nothing compared to what it's going to be later today.
Yeah.
Game day in Lincoln is a flurry of activity. Here's our farmer's market in front of us. We haven't been down here at all this year. We usually try to get down here at least once, but we haven't been down here at all. They just line the streets with vendor booths, and there's fruits and vegetables and crafts and all kinds of things.
Some people just park right in the middle of the road.
He's from Texas, give him a break. There's flowers, all kinds of stuff, so that's fun. That's a fun thing to do in downtown Lincoln.
Yeah, we'll drive by the stadium on the way out of downtown. Just might as well show you that too.
Giving you a tour in our dirty windshield and dusty. Oh, you're gonna clean it
There
for
we
us?
go.
Okay, thanks.
There's our local PD. Just missed them.
Oh, and our dusty dash. There's pupper dogs over there walking with their parents, or you couldn't see them. There's some pupper doodles walking up in front. I don't know if you can see through the windshield very easily, but we're trying to show you if it's. Oh, look at that puppy! So cute. But that's the fun. You can bring your pet down to the farmer's market. The street is all lined with booths, and oh, there's glass and all kind of stuff there. Pupper doodles, and you can bring your kids. There's kids too.
If it was an 11 a.m. kickoff game or even a 1 a.m. kickoff game, we would not be down here to this post office. We would go to a different post office because these streets would just be people everywhere, and you end up waiting a long time for all the people to come through. We'll show you where the stadium is here so you kind of get an idea.
Oh, we've got the state patrol in front of us. Got some really neat buildings down here. One of the coolest ones is on campus.
They have a big tailgate area over here that they do a massive tailgate.
We got this building over here. Do you know what that is? Is that part of the college?
It's part of the college. I don't know what it is though. It's brand new. It just got
got
done.
done. We've got the Drury Inn over there. I think that's what that is.
And then this will all be people. Just people everywhere.
Oh my goodness, people everywhere. Here's the campus, part of the campus. And there is the stadium right there.
90,000 people.
90,000. That's quite a number. Memorial Stadium, Lincoln, Nebraska. We are in the neighborhood where I bought my very first house when I was 19 years old. I bought my very first house on Baldwin Avenue in Lincoln. A little bit different neighborhood now than it was then. Still got a lot of apartments and stuff where...
They need to mow.
Yeah, they need to mow. The mowing channels need to come help us out over here. No, apartments weren't over here yet when I lived here.
Well, that's a
And
few
these
years
are
ago.
new. These are new too, these apartments. But when I was just 19, it's right here on this corner, I bought this little big house for $42,000 back in the olden days. And it looks the same except they've added a porch on the front and the back and updated the garage a little bit. But that was my very first house. It was a little tiny 2-bedroom, and that started the whole thing of me owning homes. This is a new experience for us. We have not been to one of these before, but look at the goodies, you guys.
Look at the little cookies.
It's ET Sweets, but look at the cookies and the packages. And you just put your money in, you pay.
Got a
however.
little Husker treats for the game. Look at that.
That's so cute. You can see them a little better up here. And then over here, there's cookies. She makes the best cookies, you guys.
Oh no, she broke the shed.
No, I didn't.
Donna broke the shed.
You just hook it right
Donna
here.
broke the shed, everybody. Hey, Donna broke the shed. Joe, Aaron.
No, I
Donna
didn't.
broke the shed.
Hold this. I did not.
She broke the shed. See, they have a camera right there.
Where?
Right in front of you. So they're watching you try
You're
to fix your
watching
broken
me.
shed.
I did not break the shed. The pretties just came down because I touched it with the camera.
Jeepers, you're struggling.
There we go.
All right.
Sorry.
Donna tried to fix the shed.
What's
So anyway,
in here?
everything's on here. It's an honor system. I'm not sure.
Cold stuff. Oh, for
Honor
eggs,
system, but it
maybe?
says on here, like this little box of sweets, there's sugar cookies, and it says $12. And then this is $6 for mini tailgate box.
Lemon bars. We're getting that.
And then $3 for caramel rolls. So we're going to pick a few items. We're going to pay on Venmo, and we're going to enjoy these this afternoon. So
I picked these.
that's a lot of fun. We got to glare from the sun though. There you go. We're trying. It's
I
sunny
picked
there.
these.
So anyway.
Oh my God.
So anyway, we're gonna send them some
cinnamon
Venmo.
roll?
So if you, I'll put a link in the description of this video if you're local to Lincoln, go to ET Sweets, follow them on Facebook. It's Erin and Joe, and she does a really great job, and it's a lot of fun. So come check it out. All right, we were storage. So the goal today, here's the situation. We brought the old van. Last week, earlier this week, my buddy Kobe messaged out to me, and he needed a couple fans. He had some water issues. So I came to storage to get the fans, and when I came to storage, I opened the storage doors here. And these are the 2 new units from the last clean out. And I just thought, oh man, what a mess. There's so many big things, like awkwardly big things, not just boxes you can take home. So I'm like, man, and they're such a pain to deal with, but it's good stuff. So there, Donna opened her up. So see, like we got ladders, and we got a shop vac, we got a lamp, we got a sled, we got the shelf unit, this little thing. It's not stuff that you can just take home and stack up and work. So my thought process this morning, I thought, you know what, I got a good idea. The old van is empty, so I'm gonna go to storage. Here's the other storage unit. Let's take a peek in there. This one is not real full, but again, it's big things like this roll of it's the reflex insulation or whatever, you know, and this little table, and just bigger things. There's another shop vac. So since the old van was empty, I thought I'm gonna go to storage. I'm gonna take a picture because we can list 25 things on each of the local sites a day. So I have a round started for one of the sites at home. But I'm going to come here. I'm going to take pictures here at storage of 25 things, and I'm going to we're going to load them then in the van, and then we'll drive the van home. We're just going to leave them in the van. I'll go home, I'll list them, and then when they're over, they'll just be in the van. We won't have to take them into the garage. We won't have to meet people here at storage, and then when people come to pick up, it'll already be at home in the old van, out of the way. So that's the goal, is to take pictures of 25 things here, awkward, weird shaped things, and hopefully fit them all in the van, and then I'll be able to list them and start moving some of this stuff out of these storage units. All right, I think we got about 19 things photographied, or pictures of, and we got the van pretty full here. Donna's just finishing up, put a lot of motorcycle helmets I took a picture of, but we're pretty full, so we're gonna call that good enough. We didn't quite get to 25, but I have stuff at home I can add to it to make 25 for the first round of listings.
What are we at, 24?
About 19, I think. So anyway, we're going to lock up the unit. We're going to go home, and then we'll just kind of show you what's going on at the house, and we're going to talk about some things with YouTube and reselling and all them things. Hey y'all, it is Sunday. I just want y'all to know Denver Broncos 1-0, Nebraska 2-0. Life is good, isn't it? Hey, whatnot, this week we were gonna do a Wednesday show. It ain't gonna work out, so we are not gonna have a whatnot show this week. So I have a trip plan coming up this weekend, and it's just not gonna work out. So no whatnot show this week. Our next whatnot show will be September 18th. It'll be a Thursday night show, and it will start at 6:57. We actually start selling at 7 o'clock Central Time. So next whatnot is September 18th on a Thursday at approximately 7 p.m. Central Time. So back to the video. Just wanted to make sure y'all knew that. It's just not going to work out this time. So thank you.
I came out in the garage, and the garage door is still open. And I was going to come out here and film, but there's somebody picking up. So I'm hiding back here, but I guess it doesn't matter. Everybody knows what we do. So I'm out in the garage. Let's turn the light on. And a lot of times you guys get Steve. Hang on. Hi. Oh, she has puppies. So, show you what I've been working on. Let's just start from scratch here. Okay. Last time you saw the garage, it was very full of tools. Those tools have been worked. Steve worked them and sold them. This table is supposed to be listed stuff. So that's what it is. It's a whole thing I have ready for the booth. And 2 boxes I have ready for whatnot. Some of the dishes that I have listed last night for eBay. The shoes are on eBay. And that's how that's supposed to work. And then this table is stuff to be worked. My little label. And this is where, thank you. This is where everything goes from this point on that needs to be worked. Now I have this in here because I was using it to take pictures for clothes. This is the board that I had downstairs to take pictures of clothes. So I'm not sure exactly what we're going to do with it, but let's move it out of the way. This is what it's supposed to look like back here. So our table of things to work, you'll be able to walk through, get what you need, pick items for the shows, pick items to list, all nice and neat. So this is our money pile, or death pile, I guess people say. And then you go further back here and see we just have all of these purses. These are boxes of purses that I got from a garage sale. Here's Steve's toolbox. He's going to switch out from that little one. And then of course we've got all these clothes that we're going to put on the whatnot, I think. Steve did list this on eBay. This is on Marketplace if anyone's interested. But back here we've still got some death pile things. But this is what we're paying attention to right now. We need to work through all of this. I think I'm going to leave the door open today for a little bit. We'll see what happens. But Steve has worked down a lot of the tools. He doesn't have much left over here of tools. And then check this out. This is as low as I've been over here. Is empty, I guess. We got these items all yesterday from a friend. But this is what I have left to list for dishes. And this is piled high right now because it's dishes and eBay boxes, so I'm trying to fill those. And then underneath we have a free box, a box for the booth, and a box for Lincoln Dollar. So as I list, I can just determine where it goes and put it right over here into the box. Rearranging some stuff here. Got a couple spots where we can fit more dishes to fill these boxes up, and then I have room for only 5 dish boxes. For only 5 dish boxes downstairs. So we're going to try and fill this into these boxes. I guess I have one more if I need it. So we're going to be listing today. Steve's going to have to cut some of this stuff out because I don't know what I'm doing. And when I film, I just yap, I guess. So I'm going to try and set you guys up over here, maybe. Okay, first off, I will explain my setup a little bit. I have a background. The background used to be just the table, but it is very dirty now. And these white plastic tables are so hard to get clean. So it's just a dull gray, and I don't like that. So we put poster board on here for backgrounds, and then I add like a doily or something sometimes, and you can change out the poster board rather easy. So my little station here, I have a scale, and
Hey,
I have
you've got a text message.
my wipes handy. I have things that make me happy. So I have my stone heart book ends right here because happy heart treasures, right? Carla gave me this. Truth. Because when you stop and look around, this life is pretty amazing. Even though it's tough, it's pretty amazing. So also, moving on, I have pens, and I have my numbers, and I have my notes, and I have, these are things for eBay through here. I have my fan because everybody needs a fan. I have my Scentsy because guess what? Cinnamon Scentsies deter roly-polies. And then I have my items back here. This stuff all needs to be gone through. So today I'm going to work on some eBay stuff, and then I'm going to list for the dollar auctions and maybe some whatnots and the booth and things like that. So as I go through the items over here on the table, I will just bring it up. I will look it up on my phone to see what it is, what it's worth, etc., etc. And then I decide if I'm going to list it in the booth. I have my booth tags. If I'm going to put it on whatnot, and I have my whatnot. We use painter's tape because it doesn't ruin the surfaces we tape the numbers to. And I just keep a running number. And then my lot for the dollar auction that I'm in now, and I make tickets that are lot 1 through 25 because that's how many we can do. And so as I get an item, I determine where it's going to go, and then I can use, I can pick a booth tag, a whatnot tag, or a dollar auction tag. And then if it's for eBay, it goes in the boxes on the table, and usually one of them is for whatnot. If I decide it's free, it goes in the free box, and then that goes on the porch. If it's for the booth, I mark it, and it goes in the booth. If it's for the dollar auction, then it goes in this box. And then once the boxes are full, And I've got 25 for the dollar auction and a full booth box or a full eBay or a full whatnot box. It goes over here to the listed section. So I've got 2 tables here and so on and so forth. And the eBay boxes will then go downstairs, and so will the whatnot boxes, because that's where we do whatnot. So anyway, I thought I would take you along today. And Steve may not be able to use any of this footage, and maybe he will, I don't know, but we'll just kind of see and just hang out with you guys for a while, I guess. There's a couple things I've already gone through and looked up the dishes, checked them all for chips, and now I'm just wiping them down, and I'm going to get them photographed for eBay. Now on some of these, I'll go to eBay and I start, when I go through and I find out what am I going to put on eBay, because you don't always feel like listing. So I look it up, find out where I'm going to put it, and I create a draft. And I just put the price and the number that I want in the picture, right? So then when I feel like sitting down and listing on eBay stuff, I'm ready to do that, I'll go in and look at my drafts, and they're already made. I've already got the description, stuff like that. And see, this is a 7-inch plate, and I have 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm going to do a lot of 10, and I don't second guess myself after I've already got it, most generally, in the draft mode. It's like, okay, that's the best, that's the price, and I already pick out the price. So that's the price that I want to use, and so I just make them look picture worthy, and a lot of times that's just getting the dust off of them, making sure that they look nice. And sometimes I use a prop, and I love to use this prop because I love daisies. I like to have flowers. I think they're happy and cheerful, and so a lot of times I will put a daisy in the picture as something that just adds a little something to it. I'll show you real quick. There you go. You can see the picture, or the flower I've got in the picture there. Try to make it so you guys can see a little bit of what I'm doing. So then I go through and I take pictures. And you just kind of look at it like, what is it that you want to see in a picture? You know, I want to see what it looks like. I want to see how big it is, the details, also the marking on the back. I might change, you know, things up a bit so they can see exactly how many. But I like the way it looks to have the daisy there, and they can see, and it also helps people see what pictures are mine. So there you go. That's kind of what the picture will look like. Of course, it's zoomed in and it's in square mode. I use square mode for all my pictures. So we've got the pictures taken. We're going to double check the weight. And because I'm going to wrap it and I'm going to label the bag so Steve knows which one. It's a 4 pounds, 15 ounces, so it's 5 pounds, 6 pounds. We'll put 7 pounds on here. It'll fit in a 10 by 10 by 10. And then Steve just goes from there. This is going to be, and I mark what it is so he knows when he's pulling which plates he's getting. So this is a set of 10 fair winds. And then I put exactly what it's going to be called in the listing. So when he goes to pull it and there are, you know, 8 different choices of dishes in there, he doesn't have to wonder, do I have the right one? This is a 7-inch plate, and it's going to be called a dessert plate. So 7-inch dessert plate. So I've taken my pictures, I've got the measurements, I put it on the description, and then I'm going to wrap it. And I have my packing paper right at my feet, and I just use leftovers. And this is not to pack it for shipping. This is to pack it so that when it's being moved around, it doesn't get wrecked, right? So it doesn't get damaged, chipped, scratched, whatever. Because Steve moves boxes, I move boxes sometimes, and you know, the next person may not know what's in the box, so they may not be as careful. It makes things easier for everybody. So you go ahead and give it some extra padding. So that I can put it in a plastic bag, then label it and put it in the box. And this is going in the dishes number 4. Sorry about bag noise. Bag noise. Haha. That is not me talking noise. That's the bag noise. That was funny. Okay. So then it is wrapped up nice and tight with a label on it so that Steve knows exactly what it is when it sells, and he can just come over to the box and find it. And then I'm going to go in here and upload my pictures. I don't know if you can see this, but I'm going to upload my pictures. I think I want to use this picture actually. So uploaded my pictures on the eBay app, and it's really easy to use, especially if you do sell similar. If you've already had a listing like it before, I'm going to call it 10 Vintage Alfred Macon Fair Winds Dessert Plates. It has US Constitution on it, but I'm just going to call it, because they can see from the description what it is. Dessert plate, 7-inch brown transferware, and I'm going to put excellent used condition because it is. And I'm going to add my own category, which is kitchen condition. I'm just going to call it used. Item specifics, I'm just going to go through and put what I believe best describes it. It's calling it a bread plate. I'm going to call it a dessert plate. The set includes 10 plates. The pattern is fair winds. So, you know, things that people might search it by if they were looking for it. Country of manufacture, they are made in England, so we're going to put United Kingdom. And any occasion, they're round. You just kind of go through and mark what best describes it, right? Any occasion. And then there's a place for you to put custom SKU. I'm going to put the UPC does not apply, but the custom SKU is where we're going to find it. And normally we have box 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. We had to add, I made special dishes boxes, and we found a space for 5 because I had so many dishes. So I'm going to put box dishes number 4, and then I put where we found it. And this actually was a Ruth and Larry find. They got it for free. And I also put the month and the year that I listed. So my description looks like this. I hope that you can see that. but it says a box, dishes number 4, Ruth find, and September 2025. So then that gives me some information about what did I pay for it when it comes to taking an offer. I know what I've paid for it. Also tells me where to find it when it does sell. Also tells me when I listed it, so that if I want to run a sale or it's been on for too long or whatever, it helps me know how low of an offer to take, etc., etc. But that information in the custom SKU is only seen by us. Nobody else sees that information. Then I go to the description and I click on the AI description, and then I read through it and change it to where it makes sense to me, because AI doesn't always make sense, right? So it's a set of 10 vintage dessert plates. And then at the end of the description, I can also put no chips or cracks, because people will always ask, are there chips? Are there cracks? I don't list stuff with chips or cracks very often, because why would you want to sell, or why would you want to buy something that has chips or cracks in it, right? So I just don't. But I always just notate that. So for 10 of them, I've got them listed at $36.99. Offers, I turn them on always. Then you go to shipping, and we said it's a 7-pound package. It's going to go in a 10 by 10 by 10, and that gives Steve the ability to pick whatever he wants to. I know it's going to fit in that. It might, yeah. So I know it's going to fit in that. I may, instead of 10 by 10 by 10, put 10 by 10 by 6-ish. Anyway, that's how it figures the shipping for the people to see. I just need to make sure that I have enough room for Steve to find a box that it'll fit in, because I don't do the shipping at all. Steve does. I can in a bind, and then list your item, and that's done. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to be going through here and listing stuff that I've already determined is good for eBay, and then I'm going to go through and sort some stuff out of those boxes back there. But before I get busy doing that, because it's hard to talk and work at the same time, let's see, what am I going to do here? I'm going to set you guys up a little bit, because I feel like you're looking up my nose. It's better. You can look down at me instead of up at me. But that's not the best view of me either. We're so vain, right? As people, as humans, we're kind of vain. I know I am. So shouldn't be, but I'm big, and I don't want people to see just how big. You can cut that out. So I saw something today as I was scrolling on one of the Facebook channels, I guess. And somebody says, where do you sell stuff that doesn't sell? And I thought, that's a strange question. If it doesn't sell, I mean, we go by we operate in that the market sets the value, right? So if it doesn't sell, there's not a market for it, which means there's not a market value for it. So I was kind of confused by the question. And I read on a little further, and they said, where do you sell things that don't sell? So they wanted to know where to sell things on Whatnot that didn't sell on Whatnot. And my answer to that is, I guess you don't, because it doesn't sell. But they further went on to say, because there's different people in each different show, you can rotate it through, and it might sell on one show where it didn't sell on the show before. And that is true, because we've rotated things in and out. But a more, I don't know, common sense question to the where do you sell things that don't sell. We have lots of different platforms. So we have the booth, we have eBay, we have the dollar auction, Lincoln Dollar Auction. We have Whatnot now. We have Marketplace. We have people that come, and I know that they like certain things, and if I have a lot of it, I will offer them a bulk buy. Like yesterday, a lady came and picked up a package of fabric, and I said, hey, do you want this bulk amount of fabric for $10? And she did, so that moved it on too. So there's just several different platforms. So I guess you kind of have to find what works for you in your neck of the woods, in your area, which would mean, what things do you have? What opportunities do you have for selling, also for buying? I was watching the Bearded Thrift Machine with Julian and Kayla yesterday, and they were talking about, they had a question answer session, and they were talking about, when they moved. I had sent in a question, and it was my question that they answered. When they moved, I asked them how they went about, knowing if it was going to work, because they moved to a smaller town, and so that changes the sourcing. So they just explained you have to be aware of things like that when you go to move, or when you run your business or start your business or whatever, what your opportunities are around you, whether it be sourcing opportunities or clean outs or dollar auctions or whatever. Are there booths near you? And they solved that by having his mom help them stock the booth. So you just have to look at each roadblock as an opportunity and go from there. Another thing I wanted to address was, people in the last video said, Donna, you look so tired. And sometimes this job makes you tired because it's a lot of go, go, go. We had just come off of a big clean out, very hot clean out, and we were physically tired. And there are some jobs and some parts of your life that make you mentally and emotionally tired too. And we're not immune from that. We are human, and we have days like that, right? Where we are just spent. We are emotionally spent. And that was one of those days for me. I was really, really tired of things in life and whatever. But sometimes you only get to see the shiny, sorry about the locust noise, but you only get to see the shiny, polished, happy us. And that's not always the case, because it's hard. I'm gonna call this a salad plate. Sorry, I can't talk and write at the same time. But anyway, this job is just like any other job, and we get tired and we get cranky with each other. We are with each other 24/7, and when we have a job where we go to work, you get that break from your spouse and from your kids and from the daily grind of household chores and mowing and weeding and cooking and decisions and all things like that. And when you work for yourself at home, sometimes it begins to close in on you. So maybe that's a little bit of what was happening last week when I was making a video. There is a mosquito, and I got him. That's one of the other things about working in the garage. You might have a mosquito, fly, spider, whatever. But anyway, it's just another obstacle. But I wouldn't trade it. Wouldn't trade being here for anything. Next up, we're going to talk about dreams. Now, Steve, this is just for you. This is not at you, on you, about fussing at you or anything. But I'm going to talk about dreams. So here lately, you guys have been hearing me talk about dreams, or an addition, or a Morton building, or something different. I want more space. I don't think that I am ungrateful for what we have, because we are blessed. We are blessed to have this space, this little house on the hill. We are blessed to have the dollar auction. We are blessed to have so many followers. But when you work for yourself, I know, me anyway, maybe I should preface that by saying I instead of we or you. Somebody else might not be the same as me. I'm gonna shut the door. I had to shut the door. The locust was in my head really loud. So, maybe that's part of what makes me me, is sometimes I get overwhelmed by stuff, by noise, by outside, what's the word? Influences. And it might be, sometimes you just get peopled out. Sometimes you get stuffed out. And I kind of have to have some kind of flow in my brain for it to work, which is why it's so hard for me when we are buried in stuff. And because of our model, our business model, that's a lot of the time. Because we do cleanouts and we have a great influx of things and inventory to work through, to sort through, to touch. We have to touch, and we have to make decisions on each and everything every time we touch it. And so I'm learning that if I can, when we do the clean out, make a first decision, get rid of, and get rid of might mean to donate. It might mean to take it to the dump. Some things you just cannot save. Other things you can donate, and other things have value. But I'm learning to keep the things that have a greater value and let go of the things that have a lesser value, because my time is valuable and each time I touch something is valuable. So we're learning to make those decisions at first to make our decisions later easier. So then the inventory, the influx of items comes into here a lot of times. This last time I told Steve, I said, take it all to storage. I cannot do it. Well, we ended up with still a bunch of stuff, and I was overwhelmed again. And then we had, friends and people bringing things over, which it causes another kind of influx. And when I'm selling for friends and family, I feel the pressure to try to do better for them than I would if it was just my stuff, because I don't want to tell friends and family that's not really the kind of stuff I would pick, or I'll try to get what I can out of it, or whatever. So I just feel more responsible to try to get every last cent I can out of it for them. So then that leads to overwhelming pressure that I put on myself. But when I talk about dreaming for more space and wanting something else, people may think, well, you're ungrateful, and why can't you just be happy where you are, and what is wrong with this? Why can't you just be happy? I am happy. I'm so very happy that I get to spend my days at home available for the people that need me, while I can still work and make decisions on my own. But sometimes I feel squelched and almost smothered by the amount of stuff. And so that's when I begin to dream about what would it be like if I had a Morton building, or a bigger space, or something else. And location is not what I'm thinking of when I think of that. Location is not, I want to move away from here, from this town. That's not what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking simply of a space. So when I talk about an addition, it's because to me that means more freedom. That means more space, more organization, and I like to be organized. So my dream, and a dream isn't supposed to be immediately attainable. A dream is something that you work towards over time. And when I talk about dreaming, dreams are almost impossible, but that's what makes them such cool things to think of and ponder and plan for. You know, dreaming is almost dreaming the impossible. Who would have ever thunk that both Steve and I could be at home, not working for corporate America, but at home working for ourselves with the freedom to do this? Who would have ever thought that? We were afraid to even dream that, but it happened. And so if you can't dream and think and plan and wonder about what if someday, then it kind of gets boring, right? Why are we doing what we're doing if you can't dream for something bigger and better? So that's where I'm going when I say I have a dream or I want more space or whatever. And the comment on the last video was, you need to let Donna talk. Well, guess what? I took the camera and I'm talking. So now you're learning what my dream is. So when we talk about where we are, we live in Lincoln, Nebraska. And the possibility of us finding a piece of land with space for, or a building already there, and a house that is my dream house would be all one level. And that's that way because I went through dealing with strokes with my dad, and I found the importance of everything on one level, because you don't know what life is going to give you. You don't know if your parents, your kids, yourself are going to need accessibility. And so for me, for my forever house, that would be a house that is all one level, or at least the main bedroom with a bathroom, with the laundry, with the kitchen, and the living area all on one level. And because we work at home, that also would mean space on one level to do what we do. And to me, the easiest way would be to have a Morton building. However, you know, or a building like that. However, we live in Lincoln, and our business is set up in Lincoln with the Lincoln Dollar Auction, and our contacts for estate cleanouts and house cleanouts and all of our networking has been done in Lincoln. So it would be very hard for us to take what we have here to another area, because we would have a lot of growing pains, transferring pains. You know, we could still do storage units, we could still do cleanouts, but there would be a lot more travel involved for us. So my dream here in Lincoln is next to impossible, but I can still dream about it, and I know that it's next to impossible, unless of course someone wants to share their land with us. But you know, that's stupid, that's next to impossible. But someday, hopefully, God will give a way for us to have a little more space, whether it's a 3 or 4 stall garage with a house on one level, or it's a piece of ground with a building on it, or it's a piece of ground and the ability to put a barn dominium on it, something like that. I don't know. You just never know what you're going to end up with.
Got a text message.
So that's just to address a little bit of the dreaming aspect, the addition kind of thing. Our friends moved to a church. I'm very excited for them and a little jealous, because I earlier in the year looked at a schoolhouse, but it was in the middle of absolutely nowhere. And the only good thing about it was close to Ruth and Larry. And I've recently found a farm with outbuildings and a farmhouse just north of Ruth and Larry's town again. But it's $125,000, which is a really good price, but it's in the middle of nowhere. So it would cost us more to run our business because of the travel. You know, there's a place here in town that I saw and I looked at with a big house, 8 acres on the paved road, and a Morton building for $650,000. So price, you know, but it's okay to look and to plan and to dream about what it might be like, what it might take to be more comfortable. But for now, this is what we have, and this is what we are going to use. And I am happy here. Just because I'm looking and dreaming doesn't mean I'm not happy. So that's that. I don't seem to be able to get anything done when I'm talking. I'm going to turn this off and list for a little bit. Who joined me out in the garage? What'd you just say?
She said, I'm looking at tools, right? Because I'm selling tools locally and, you know, some things on eBay. And she says, are any of those tools small enough to like put on eBay or on whatnot? And I said, Bearded Thrift Machine says tools are not good for whatnot. And that dude can sell ice cubes to an Eskimo. So, no, we're not doing tools on whatnot. Anyway, out here working. It is now 2:50, so we have a few hours. I have one listing on the dollar auction locally from the storage unit, and so now I'm getting together another listing for another round of listing for the other local one. Trying to get rid of some tools, you guys, but you gotta look them up though. She said, "Did you find anything worth a bunch?" This is literally from the last video when we went to this. This is the one with all the stuff from the garage sale. I got this whole tote for $20, so I'm gonna do something with this. But this tote here, don't mind the bullhorn. This tote, a lot of this may be eBay. Like these ratchets here. This is an old Williams one. SK right there. Here's a SK. These are like 30 bucks a piece or something. So those will eventually be going on eBay, but not today. I will not get to that today. I'm working on this, and then I'll work on some like sanders and things like that I have down there to kind of get some of that stuff gone.
Well, my pile is a little smaller, gotten through the dishes, and just working away. I did it, y'all. Look. We got everything off the table listed on eBay, or I got it ready for whatnot. There's eBay. There's Booth. Got it ready to be listed for dollar auction. All this stuff over here is listed. Steve got a whole bunch of stuff listed. But look at this. Those of you who know what this normally looks like, what an accomplishment this is for me. Because it normally is piled high. So we are gonna call it a day, and I'm gonna go in and watch the game with Steve. So go Big Red, like and subscribe, share with your friends, and we will see you on the next one.